Hello, I'm going to briefly show you how to use this process map form to help you get things out of your head and into a format where other people know the one right way to do the process, and even how to measure what success is, and then you have something to train people against so that ultimately they are empowered. And my definition of empowered means both you and they are confident that they can perform the task according to expectations without supervision. So here we go. This is a form in Excel or any spreadsheet software, and there are several sections. I'm going to start by going through this header information, somewhat describing the process. Then we'll go through the major steps and sub-steps. And then finally, we'll record and show you what support things you want to think about. The example that I'm going to use today is to purchase a product. And if I come here to my sample, I'm going to say that this is purchasing goods to support my operations or manufacturing. And as I've noted here at the top, it seems a little picky, but it's helpful to put this in terms of an action. What are we asking someone to do? So I'm going to say purchase goods. The next question is, why does this exist? And the tip is, if it didn't exist, what would happen to our business? So I'm going to say, we can't operate without materials to do our work. Who receives, so there's a customer, who receives a product, service, or information from this process? So there's always a person, an external customer is the one who's paying for it, but inside your company, there could be services provided for other organizations or departments. And in this case, I'm going to suggest that we're purchasing goods for operations, whether that's manufacturing or some other form of repackaging, whatever it is that you do. And then what exactly is produced for that? And in this case, in my example, I'm going to say materials used for kits sold to customers. And then when do we do this? What tells me I need to do this? And in this case, we're going to suggest, and this is obviously what I'm doing is I'm simulating that this process actually exists, and now I'm recording it or I'm mapping it. I'm not making up a process. So when you're doing mapping your process, you want to think about really what is that process. And these are challenging questions until you've thought about them. I've thought about them a lot, so they're a little easier for me, but don't be discouraged. Just keep going. So when we purchase goods, it's weekly, a weekly review of current inventory compared to customer orders. And if you think about it, if you're doing anything related to purchasing goods to support your operations, that's probably something like that you're doing. And then how do you know if it's working correctly, this process? So my experience with purchasing is stock outs. Like ideally, you never want to be out of stock to fill a customer order. Another thing in this organization or with this task, you might want to have spend trend. And this is going to vary completely based on your organization and your finances and so forth. But let's just say a percent of product cost. For example, let's say right now what you spend to supply or sell a product is 85%, and then you have 15% internal labor or overhead or whatever that is. You want to maintain that or perhaps even lower it, but these are the people who have control over that, who are negotiating deals and things like that, potentially. So that's really the first part, is to complete this section.